Welcome back to CelebReel, where we break down the secrets the industry hopes stay buried. And this one, it shook hip-hop to its core. It all started with a shocking confession nobody saw coming. When Nicki Minaj finally spoke on Jay-Z, this wasn't about a bad deal or studio tension. She hinted at something way more personal, claiming Jay once tried to turn a friendship into something deeper. And when she shut it down, everything changed. Nicki says that's when the quiet sabotage began. No tweets, no diss tracks. Just a silent war waged behind closed doors, in boardrooms, private calls, and industry back channels. And the timeline makes it even messier. Back in 2015, Nicki was promised a 3% equity stake in Tidal. Real ownership, not promo hype. She pushed that platform harder than almost anyone, even Beyonce. But when Jay-Z sold Tidal in 2021 for over $300 million, Nicki says she didn't see a single dollar. While other artists allegedly walked away with millions, her name was missing from the payout list. And that's when people realized this wasn't just business. This was personal. And from there, everything spiraled.
Blogs and online platforms don't touch what she's saying, and they don't cover all of her words fully because it's Jay-Z and Roc Nation.
Well, I'll tell you this, I have no idea about their business, but if someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X, and I guarantee you if she ever took that to court, that would be a huge story.
By March 2024, everything escalated fast. Nicki Minaj and her husband were hit with a $500K default judgment, and suddenly her $20 million Hidden Hills mansion was targeted for seizure. By September, the LA sheriff confirmed the levy, and fans noticed the timing. This all happened weeks after Nicki publicly called out Jay-Z over the Tidal equity deal. Overnight, she was buried in lawsuits, bad press, and hostile headlines, many from outlets rumored to be Roc Nation adjacent. Coincidence, or a reminder of who really runs the industry?
Apparently, Nicki Minaj has dragged Jay-Z to Philly. She blasts him for being evil and spiteful.
Then came October 15th, 2025. Nicki canceled her album, tagged Jay-Z, and wrote, "Hope you're happy now." Hours later, her Instagram vanished. When it came back, the first post was an AI image of Jay-Z in a pink wig with one caption, "I am your karma." Fans were split. Meltdown or message? To longtime observers, it sounded like a warning, and the industry responded fast. Charlemagne, Thaw God, jumped on The Breakfast Club and labeled Nicki Donkey of the Day, saying her energy was stank and nasty. At that point, it was clear. This wasn't just drama anymore. It was war.
Over and people were, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar is the hottest out right now.
He is, though. Kendrick hot.
They're going to make their money.
Charlemagne dismissed Nicki's post as a bruised ego meltdown, but the timing felt way too precise. His takedown aired just 48 hours after Nicki accused Jay-Z's team of blocking her radio interviews. And insiders later whispered the segment had higher-up approval from execs still linked to Roc Nation. It didn't feel reactive. It felt coordinated. Then things turned dark. Nicki's home was hit with multiple swatting incidents, armed police showing up while her toddler was inside.
I hope it's worth losing everything, including your account, because Nicki Minaj has been on X saying that the blogs and online creators don't cover her and Jay-Z's back and forth the same way as they do everything else.
Well, it's not a back and forth.
It's definitely not a back and forth. I was about to, yeah, it's just been for.
LAPD confirmed the calls but named no suspects. Nicki publicly called it intimidation, tagging labels and Jay-Z associates, claiming she had proof. Roc Nation stayed silent, and once she went public, the raids stopped. Put it all together, and it doesn't feel random. First the money pressure, then public humiliation, then psychological warfare. Media voices repeated the same narrative. Her socials vanished, AI mockery surfaced, and cops showed up at her door. Whether coincidence or calculation, the pattern sent one clear message: pressure her until she backs down.
Yeah, so
What that got to do with Sister Minaj?
because there's a lot of fans online having a conversation right now following our interview if whether or not Kenneth, who's Nicki Minaj's husband, should be doing the same for Nicki Minaj because
Absolutely.
she's online and there's a lot of things that she's saying and
But that
different things
wasn't
that
the
are
reason
happening.
she shot at Charlemagne, was it?
No, forget me. Why did she come at Keisha? I don't understand. Like, what did anything Keisha have to say?
Any one of these moments could be brushed off as bad luck, but stacked together, it looks like a pattern. A former label exec once said, when a woman in this industry rejects the wrong man, they don't just sideline her, they erase her. And things moved fast. Just hours after Nicki's outburst, Gucci Mane's wife appeared on the same platform, The Breakfast Club, praising Gucci's stability. Nicki snapped, accusing the segment of being strategic, then directly called Charlemagne a Jay-Z ally, using iHeart as a weapon. From there, it felt coordinated. Same platform, same voices, same timing. And through all of it, Jay-Z stayed silent. No statement, no denial, nothing. When Nicki later accused Jay of blocking Lil Wayne from the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show, the internet dragged her. But to Nicki, that was loyalty. Wayne put her on, and watching him get sidelined felt personal. By late October, the pressure peaked. Her mansion still faced seizure, legal filings piled up, and suddenly every major outlet recycled old stories about her husband. No updates, just refreshed headlines. Media analysts later called it a refresh cycle, a tactic used to bury the present under recycled scandal. And once you see it, it's hard to unsee. And here's the part that really makes people pause. The outlets driving that smear cycle, many were quietly tied to Roc Nation's media ecosystem. Coincidence or cleanup? Because if Nicki's claims are true, rejecting Jay-Z years ago may have triggered a long, silent vendetta. Not loud beef, quiet pressure. Nicki has hinted that lawyers, media insiders, and even law enforcement were pulled into a system designed to protect one man's image. No smoking gun yet, but the timing speaks volumes. The lawsuits, the refreshed headlines, the sudden financial squeeze, all of it sped up the moment she said Jay-Z's name out loud. That $500,000 judgment wasn't just a loss, it was a warning. Then came the levy on her $20 million mansion, hitting right as she tried to reclaim control of her brand. To the public, it looked like celebrity chaos. To anyone paying attention, it looked like leverage. And that's why everything keeps circling back to one question. If this much pressure followed Nicki speaking out, what else is buried under hip-hop's most protected empire? Jay-Z sold Tidal in 2021 for roughly $302 million. Yet Nicki says the equity she was promised, allegedly worth $100 to $200 million, simply vanished. No payout, no explanation, just silence. Founding artists were supposed to be included, but insiders claim Nicki's name quietly disappeared from the final deal. Business move, or punishment for saying no? Every time Nicki asked questions, Roc Nation and Block Inc. stayed mute. And the moment she raised the issue publicly again, her legal problems exploded. Lawsuits, pressure, chaos, all at once. It didn't feel random. It felt like a message. One name keeps surfacing behind the scenes: Desiree Perez. Sources claim the Roc Nation CEO was quietly advising platforms to distance themselves from Nicki, framing it as risk management. Even Republic Records allegedly split, half defending her, half folding. And right after Nicki pushed the title issue again, audits appeared, followed by those swatting incidents. Too much timing to ignore. 4 police raids, armed officers, her toddler inside the house. Coincidence or not, the pattern is disturbing. And it didn't stop there. Private texts from Nicki's camp suddenly leaked to blogs closely tied to Roc Nation, painting her as unstable and financially reckless. None of it confirmed, all of it damaging. A former road manager put it simply: it's not about truth, it's about exhaustion. Wearing someone down until they stop fighting. And through all of this, one name stayed untouched: Beyonce. When Nicki posted "Beyonce knew," the internet froze. Beyonce stayed silent, flawless, unbothered, but insiders claim her team quietly moved to shut the topic down everywhere. As one source said, they can't let this look like betrayal inside music's royal family. Because if even part of Nicki's story is true, Beyoncé's silence isn't grace, it's strategy. And the stakes are way bigger than internet drama. For nearly 2 decades, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been sold as the untouchable power couple, a flawless empire built on control, loyalty, and image. If Nicki's claims start cracking that myth, it doesn't just threaten Jay-Z, it threatens the entire brand. Industry whispers say NDAs are already being reinforced. Roc Nation employees locked into silence, old contracts quietly revisited, loyalty clauses tightened. This doesn't feel like casual PR anymore. It feels like containment, a full-scale effort to keep the walls from collapsing. Meanwhile, Nicki isn't backing down. She's using social media like armor. Posting that eerie AI image of Jay-Z in a pink wig with the caption, "I am your karma," then going scorched earth. Calling out gatekeepers, accusing executives of blackballing her. Daring her label to speak. Hinting she's holding documents that could blow everything open. She even wrote, "The same business managers who robbed me are still working for them." Whether this ever reaches a courtroom is still unknown. But one thing is clear. This isn't just a personal feud anymore. Nicki Minaj has become a symbol. The artist who refused to whisper when the room demanded silence. And behind the scenes, that's exactly what's making people nervous. Smaller artists are quietly talking about last-minute show cancellations. Podcasters who spoke positively about Nicki say advertisers suddenly pulled out, followed by polite warnings about which names they'd rather not be associated with. At the same time, sources claim Beyoncé's team has started tracking coverage, literally monitoring which outlets post what and when. That level of coordination doesn't happen over gossip. It happens when an empire feels the floor start to shake. And that's the chilling part. Not the drama, but the psychology behind it. Every outburst, every vanished Instagram post, every cryptic image gets labeled celebrity chaos. But when you zoom out, a pattern appears. Each time Nicki speaks up, a wave hits. Headlines, lawsuits, canceled appearances, smear stories. Like clockwork. It's almost as if the industry is waiting for her to crack. Just to say, "See, we told you she's unstable." But what if she's not unraveling at all? What if this is what years of silent pressure, manipulation, and behind-the-scenes power plays actually look like when they finally surface? Inside the business, the whispers are getting louder. People are saying Nicki's so-called meltdowns are being weaponized. Executives who once begged for her presence now hide behind contracts and fine print, while insurers quietly tag her as a liability. Not because she's weak, but because she won't stay quiet anymore. Publicists who once rode for her are suddenly gone. And the moment things heat up, the "she's unstable" narrative becomes the perfect weapon. A way to dismiss her, discredit her, and bury her claims under words like emotional, erratic, and difficult. It's the oldest trick in the book. Take a powerful woman's exhaustion and turn it into proof that she's the problem. The more Nicki defends herself, the easier it becomes for the machine to paint her as the villain. But if even a fraction of what she's saying is true, this isn't a meltdown. It's exposure. Not of her, but of an industry built on quiet fear and loud punishment. The memes, the headlines, the sudden concerned commentary. That's not entertainment. That's soft censorship. Because if Nicki Minaj, one of the most powerful women in hip-hop, can be pushed to this point, imagine what happens to artists without her platform, her money, or her voice. She's not just fighting for her house or her reputation. She's fighting to stand outside a system designed to control her. And if that's real, then what we're watching isn't chaos. It's retaliation. A machine punishing disobedience, erasing context, and rewriting the story in real time. And that leads to the question nobody wants to touch. If this can happen to Nicki Minaj with her money, her influence, and her global fan base, what chance does anyone else really have? How many artists were quietly pushed out, silenced, or broken long before we ever learned their names? This might not just be her fight. It could be a warning shot for the entire industry. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if this made you think. Share this video with someone who needs to see it, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. this story is far from over. See you in the next one.